Jillian Michaels exposed the Democrats like never before. Check it out.
I want to take you on a little walk through memory lane just in case you weren't around for any of this or you weren't paying attention.
During a segment on her show, Jillian ran a series of clips showing past Democratic statements on illegal immigration. Then Riley Gaines followed up with a point that feels more accurate with each passing day.
Well, it proves that this isn't necessarily a moral issue.
Right.
Or even a humanitarian issue, like they like to say. It's a political one.
And today, we're covering it all. So if you believe truth isn't partisan, hit the subscribe button and let's jump right into it.
Here is Bill Clinton as president on his immigration policy. A hero of the left. Are you ready? Roll the clip, team.
Americans, not only in the states most heavily affected, but in every place in this country, are rightly disturbed by the large numbers of illegal aliens entering our country. The jobs they hold might otherwise be held by citizens or legal immigrants. The public service they use impose burdens on our taxpayers. That's why our administration has moved aggressively to secure our borders more by hiring a record number of new border guards, by deporting twice as many criminal aliens as ever before, by cracking down on illegal hiring, by barring welfare benefits to illegal aliens. In the budget I will present to you, we will try to do more to speed the deportation of illegal aliens who are arrested for crimes. We are a nation of immigrants, but we are also a nation of laws. It is wrong and ultimately self-defeating for a nation of immigrants to permit the kind of abuse of our immigration laws we have seen in recent years, and we must do more to stop it.
Okay, now, he is just what a racist bigot, but here's his fascist authoritarian.
This is one of Bill's most famous speeches, and pay attention to the language he used. He openly said, quote, illegal aliens and illegal immigrants, because, at the time, there was no media push to police those terms. That shift didn't happen until the 2010s, when major outlets decided the word illegal was offensive. The change followed pressure from progressive groups like Define American, whose founder, Jose Antonio Vargas, was in the country illegally himself. In fact, Pew Research did a study on this, and they found that, quote, the phrase unauthorized immigrant was rarely seen prior to 2013, and the same goes for undocumented. Now, you might argue Bill said this decades ago, and that's fair, but this wasn't isolated to him. Just a little over 10 years ago, Hillary was making similar arguments. So let's hear how she wanted to handle the issue.
Like, guys, can I see what Hillary Clinton thinks about this whole thing?
Hi, Secretary Clinton. I was wondering what you think about securing the Mexican border with some of the illegal immigrants that come in. Just wondering.
Well, look, I voted numerous times when I was a senator to spend money to build a barrier to try to prevent illegal immigrants from coming in. And I do think you have to control your borders.
Oh, it was her. I didn't know the wall was her idea. I didn't know I was around then. I didn't actually know that. But apparently it was Hillary's idea.
I get that it was sarcasm. But for anyone who missed it, the border wall wasn't Hillary's idea. It actually began under Bill's presidency with Operation Gatekeeper. That effort focused on hardening the southern border by adding more Border Patrol agents, expanding detention bed space, and building physical barriers where none existed before. Shocker! I know. In the years that followed, Congress repeatedly approved funding to build new sections or repair existing parts of the wall. Hillary voted yes on those measures. Even in July 2015, she criticized San Francisco, a sanctuary city, for not enforcing federal immigration law and deporting a Mexican citizen who later murdered a young woman. Jillian went on to show the deporter-in-chief's comments on illegal immigration. But before we play that, a quick message from our sponsor. Cybercrime and identity theft aren't just on the rise. They've become a billion-dollar industry. And you know who's cashing in? Data brokers. These guys collect everything from your name to your home address, your email, even your entire online footprint, and flip it for profit on sketchy corners of the internet. That's where Aura comes in. It doesn't just alert you about the problem. It actually does something about it. Aura finds the data brokers selling your info and forces them to delete it. And while other companies might offer bits and pieces of protection, nobody goes as far as Aura. You'll get alerts if your info shows up on the dark web, real-time fraud notifications for your bank and credit accounts, a secure VPN, and yes, actual US-based 24/7 human support. Get that. And here's something else I liked, because not a lot of companies do this. Aura includes a $5 million in identity theft insurance, backed by a strong team of US fraud experts ready to help around the clock. I use it myself, and not just because I cover some heated topics that make me a target in today's political climate. It's about staying a step ahead. So why not protect yourself too? You too can head over to aura.com/frontline, which is posted in the description, and benefit from a 14-day free trial. In those 2 weeks, Aura will help you get back control of your data. I'm not leaving myself vulnerable, and you shouldn't either. Now, back to the video.
Let's see, since Barack, of course, got elected and he was arguably the voice of reason, what did he think? Let's take a look at what Barack thought about all of this stuff.
If you plan to enter the U.S. illegally, your chances of getting caught and sent back just went up. The actions I'm taking are not only lawful, they're the kinds of actions taken by every single Republican president and every single Democratic president for the past half-century. And to those members of Congress who question my authority to make our immigration system work better, or question the wisdom of me acting where Congress has failed, I have one answer. Pass a bill. I want to work with both parties to pass a more permanent legislative solution. And the day I sign that bill into law, the actions I take will no longer be necessary. Meanwhile, don't let a disagreement over a single issue be a deal breaker on every issue. That's not how our democracy works. And Congress certainly shouldn't shut down our government again just because we disagree on this.
Don't do that.
Yeah, God forbid.
Okay, at this point, the jokes write themselves. And there's a reason he was going after Congress here. Republicans refused to go along with his immigration agenda, which aimed to put millions of people who entered the country illegally on a path to citizenship. When that failed, the former president used his executive power to the full. That's how we got DACA and DAPA. What makes this even more ironic is how Democrats later attacked Trump over deportations, despite Obama removing more people than Trump ever did. And guess what? He heavily relied on ICE to carry those out. Even The Intercept ran a piece in 2017 titled, "Obama's Deportation Policy Was Even Worse Than We Thought." After running through those clips, Riley and Jillian gave their take on how far modern Democrats have drifted from the figures we just watched. And needless to say, they didn't hold back.
I mean, have any of these people have to ever answer to these things that they've said? I mean, I've never heard these videos,
gonna get
honestly.
better. So if people were not rioting then, and they weren't crying foul and attacking ICE and all of that, what the hell? By the way, you guys, your generation, the Zers, I get it. You guys were in school swimming. That's great. You were what, 10? But my generation and all those angry boomers, they voted for these people. You voted for these guys. You were all in, and you still hold them on a pedestal, like, oh, which is fine. But what you don't get to do is call Trump Hitler for the exact same thing. Yeah, what?
No. Well, it proves that this isn't necessarily a moral issue.
Right.
Or even a humanitarian issue, like they like to say. It's a political one, right?
Exactly. Once you factor in congressional apportionment, the strategy becomes clearer. Add in the progressive takeover of the Democratic Party, and the picture sharpens even more. Some figures now openly argue for open borders, including AOC, Mandami, Rashida Tlaib, and others. But this needs to be called for what it is. It's a political issue. Not long ago, leaders of the same party were taking positions that today would be labeled MAGA without hesitation. Let me know in the comments your thoughts on this story. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and remember, keep thinking.